Today we're here to acknowledge the commitment, dedication and the selfless acts of our firefighters, and they demonstrate this every day that they're on the job. I feel honoured to join you all this morning. I've done this for a number of years and it's a morning that I always look forward to. It's a chance that we get to celebrate the outstanding achievements of WA's firefighters. All of the firefighters here in this room fulfil a challenging and demanding role, but also one of the most proud and rewarding ones.
This event provides an opportunity for all of us to reflect on the exceptional efforts of our West Australian firefighters. But before we focus on these individuals and their brigades, I would like to take a moment to commend all of you for your efforts over the last year. Ultimately, all of this effort across the whole network of fire services has combined to save countless lives and thousands of homes. Across different time zones and different environments, both career and volunteer brigades play a vital role responding to increasingly challenging, more often occurring large-scale incidents. I urge you, next bushfire season, as it fast approaches, to say stay safe, look after each other and become a great team. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2015 Firefighting Awards provides an important opportunity to honour firefighters that have excelled in their role and to give recognition that is well deserved.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first award today is of particular importance. It is the Firefighting Youth Achievement Award. And now let's take a look at what these extraordinary young people have achieved in the past 12 months.
Hi, my name is Nathan Garrington and I'm a member at East 1 Volunteer Bushfire Brigade. I wanted to become a firefighter because it's something that I've wanted to do since I was a little kid, so I've been a firefighter for almost 2 years, I think. Started at the Swan SES down the road and decided to take a next step up and become a volunteer bushfire brigade. Don't think I'm fit enough for careers yet, so I thought I'd start working my way up from a volunteer to career. So been out to probably, I don't know how many, like 90 odd fires or something, last year or something like that. So over the last 12 months, I've been down to Northcliffe. The day before that, we were actually down at Boddington, and then the next day we got our pager and said who's available for a 7-day deployment down to Northcliffe. We were chasing the fire, trying to get to the head of the fire and stop it from threatening lives, homes and farmland and stuff like that. Yeah, it was good to go down there, help out the community, especially on the 3rd or 4th day that we got the little notes from the kids. So it was good, you open up your lunch pack and you get a little note saying thank you for putting out the fire, or there were some really good cute ones, so they put a smile on your face. Yeah, definitely a life-changing experience. So being out there volunteering is a bit of a satisfaction, knowing that you're out there helping the community rather than sitting at home and seeing this big black plume of smoke going, oh, I wonder what that is. So at least I know I'm out there helping put it out, saving lives, saving houses and all that kind of stuff. So I do a whole lot of volunteers. So I do SES, I do BFB, and I also have started recently doing a bit of fire and rescue down at Barbagallo. And I do a load of other volunteer work, so it's always good to help the community. If anyone's thinking about volunteering, it's a good idea, especially to help the community. It gives you a bit of a satisfaction knowing that you're out there doing something.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Carnarvon VFRS. I joined Carnarvon VFRS when I was 18 years of age. So the reason I joined, I think, was the ability to help people in the community, the great volunteer spirit and the group. The support you get from the peers was amazing. It's been a really good journey. I've learnt so many things, met some amazing people, did some amazing work. So when I first joined, I became an active firey. I then went on to help out with our social club. Later on I went back to support for a little while, helped out, and then just last year our secretary stepped down, so I stepped up. I also volunteer at St John Ambulance. I'm a senior ambulance officer, so I attend to the patient in St John's when I'm in the ambulance. When I'm not volunteering, I am volunteering, and that's about my life at the moment. Just work in ambulance and fireys. There's so many hours within fireys and ambulance that I just do stuff at home and with call-outs. I honestly wouldn't be able to say how many hours I do. Getting up in the middle of the night to go on ambulance calls and fire calls, I don't think I ever count that. So probably quite a few. I'm proud of my achievements. Yeah, I feel that I've done pretty well for my age, being only 21, and my achievements of secretary and becoming a senior ambulance officer. Yeah. It's great for myself. I get a lot out of it personally. Helping other people is just a special thing. People need someone to be there, and knowing that you're that person, yeah, that's pretty good. You can help some people out of some pretty awful situations or help them get through them. I'm very proud to be a firefighter. I think it's a very special and honourable and role that you have to earn. It cannot just be given to you.
Hi, I'm Matt Holland. I'm the captain of Witchcliffe Volunteer Fire and Rescue Service. I've been involved with the fire brigade since I was about 13 as a cadet. Did my basic bushfire training and joined as a full member of the local bushfire brigade at the age of 16, and then became a member of the Volunteer Fire and Rescue Service. I hold the position at the moment of captain of the Fire and Rescue Service in Witchcliffe. I'm also a member of the Bushfire Brigade's local government incident management team. So again, I would spend about 10 hours to 15 hours a month working as a volunteer, and then during our busy bushfire season, that can go up to 40, 50, 60 hours a month. So I guess one of the great things we see here at Witchcliffe is that our fire and rescue service was formed out of our bushfire brigade, and having the two brigades running side by side is great, and all the guys that are in our fire and rescue service came from the bushfire background. So we really have a lot of experience dealing with bushfires that's been invaluable to transfer into the rural-urban interface that we're dealing with now. I certainly feel that in our local area we maintain a very high standard of professionalism, and I think that's important to what we do, that even as volunteers we need to hold ourselves to the highest standard that we can work to. The thing I really enjoy about it is the sense of accomplishment from having a job well done, but also the camaraderie and the teamship that we get from having such a cohesive team. So it's great to be a member of such a dynamic and professional group. My personal reasons for volunteering, I get a huge sense of accomplishment and achievement out of being involved in fire services. It's something I really enjoy and get a lot of reward out of doing. And knowing that you've made a difference in your community, you've contributed something to helping make that community safer, is really a big encouragement to me. I feel very privileged to be nominated for this award. There's countless other firefighters out there, thousands of volunteers across the state, and I believe we all put in everything that we can, and to be picked out of that is a great honour.
It's my great honour to say the winner of the 2015 Firefighting Youth Achievement Award is Matthew Holland from Witchcliffe Volunteer Fire and Rescue Service.
What an honour it is to be up against this sort of calibre of young person, to be in a room full of firefighters like this, and to be honoured with an award like this. I think the only thing I want to say is, as I'm sure you're all aware, firefighting's by no means a solo effort, and without the support of the crew that I've got down at Witchcliffe, there's no way I could be doing what I'm doing. So thank you for the award, and my thanks to all of you and to my crew back at Witchcliffe.
Well, let's now move to our next category, which is the Western Australian Career Fire and Rescue Service Award. Let's have a look at what they've achieved over the last 12 months.
Hi, Adam Bannister, District Officer, Department of Fire and Emergency Services. I've been a firefighter for 27 years, was a station officer for 17 years, and just recently been promoted to the rank of District Officer. And when the opportunity came to be trained up as an air attack supervisor, I submitted my application, and that was the start of the aviation experience. My involvement was as an air attack supervisor. FUSA then introduced the rotary firebombing aircraft. I was then involved in the Helitac supervisor role. There was 2 distinct dispatch centres, one from each agency. So I was heavily involved in the development, the bringing together of both dispatch centres to a single air desk, and helped develop those protocols, ensuring that the efficiency of dispatch of aircraft to the fires was improved. We established a base out of Bustleton, providing rotary support down to the southwest. This also introduced a capacity to transport fire crews onto the fire line. So that was a further development and further expansion of the operation to the fireground. From my point of view, the most rewarding for me is the single air desk, is both agencies working together from dispatch all the way through the operation. One of the other highlights is the very professional working relationships that are formed between both agencies. There was an appetite from both air operations sections within both agencies, and it was that appetite to succeed that enabled us to bring together both agencies and develop that state operation air desk. WA bats well above its batting average, if you like, with the resources that we've got and the area that we need to cover. Our efficiency is up there with as good as anything on the East Coast. Through my journey with air operations, we've gone from two fixed wing to now a very effective fixed and rotary wing aerial suppression operation, and that this will continue into the future, and I see nothing other than a bright future for air operations within the state of Western Australia.
Hi, I'm Serena from Rockingham Fire Station. I've been a firefighter for 16 years, and I like the idea of being a firefighter because I get the purpose of my job is to help the community. 2007, an expression of interest came out requesting new applicants for urban search and rescue canine dog handlers. I've always loved dogs, I've always loved training dogs, and I loved the idea of training a dog to save someone's life, and that's why I joined USAR Canine team. One role within the USAR Canine unit is the CLO, which is the Canine Liaison Officer. I have been the CLO in the past, and their role is to manage the team. As part of developing the USAR Canine team and its structure and roles and responsibilities, it was essential to develop a training plan, and that's why I started on with the national competencies and writing the training resource kits, because new handlers need a clear path on how to train a dog. A dog that becomes qualified from the DFES USAR Canine unit is qualified in line with international standards, and that's a huge asset for DFES to have. DFES is the first organisation in Australia to have the TRKs, the training resource kits, that go with the 4 national competencies. So we now have the first comprehensive training program in Australia for USAR Canine. In developing the canine unit structure, roles, responsibilities, and developing a comprehensive training plan, the pathway is a lot easier for a new handler to navigate, and we will definitely end up with dogs that are better suited for USAR work and trained faster than what they have been historically.
Hi, Martin Cable, Station Officer, Kalgoorlie Fire Station. I started out as a volunteer in Leonora and did about 7 years there, and moved down to Kalgoorlie and was a volunteer with North Kalgoorlie Fire Brigade. Volunteering just relit the fire inside me of wanting to become a career firefighter, and yeah, I've been a career firefighter now for 15 years and I've made the rank of Station Officer. There certainly has been some highlights. I think when you make a difference, that certainly stands out. It makes a bit of a difference when you can go back to the family or the owners of a building and show them that you've actually saved a lot of their property. Getting involved in Jaffa was a changing part of my career, and it was just something that I thought that I could put back into the organisation and also back into the community by looking after the kids that are lighting fires. It's certainly very rewarding for me to be able to go and do a Jaffa case and then come back and know that that child has changed their ways. I'm fairly heavily involved in promoting of the school-based programs, the Fire Inside Out message up here. The younger children are getting the Fire Inside Out message, and the older ones we go down the path of not only fire safety but also volunteering in the community. So that really benefits us as an organisation but also gets the message through to the children. I'm heavily involved up here in doing promotional work as well. Fire safety is just so important. There's a lot of people that just don't get it. So the more that we put it out there, the more we make it public, the more chance you have of getting it through. By being a station officer, you also need to keep an eye on your crew, and the peer support training that I've received only helps me with that. As firefighters, the general public see us as bulletproof, but really we're not. We're just people that are doing a difficult job. The benefits that I receive from helping in these programs and supporting in the community is just the buzz that you're making a difference.
The winner of the 2015 WA Career Fire and Rescue Service Award is Martin Cable from Kalgoorlie Fire Station.
Thank you very much to the organisation, first of all, for doing these awards. They recognise a lot of people that do a lot of extraordinary things. Our job that we've got is a difficult job at times, and we've got a lot of good people, whether they're volunteers, male or female, or career staff, doing a lot of great things out there. No, thank you very much. It's an absolute honour. I need to, first of all, thank my wife, who supports me 100%. Awards like this can't be won on your own. They're won from the support you get. So the whole station, my crew, the whole station, our whole district is outstanding. I'd also like to thank the people that nominated me. I'm not 100% sure who it was, but I think it was from the district office. And I know that Carmel had done a fair bit of work on the paperwork for it. So thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next category is the Western Australian Volunteer Fire and Rescue Service Award. This award celebrates the achievements of our volunteer firefighters from the Volunteer Fire and Rescue Service that have been recognised for going above and beyond what is expected of them. This year's finalists are...
G'day, how are you? I'm Paul Williamson. I'm the captain of Albany Volunteer Fire and Rescue. I've been a firefighter for about 13 or 14 years now, I think. It's just something, I've always worked across the road from the fire station. I've always had a bit of a fascination with that. And my uncle and dad were in the fire brigade back in Barker, so I guess I just sort of fell into it from there. I pretty much started off as a probationary and just sort of graduated slowly through there up to apparatus officer, to foreman, and then finally the captain 2 years ago. It can be challenging being a firefighter, yeah. I think, some of the stuff we have to deal with, often the scenes aren't pretty. The emotional side of it, more than anything, I guess. And also dealing with the younger guys coming through, just to make them aware that there's support there for them. Yeah, I'm very proud to be a firefighter. I think it's something very worthwhile and very rewarding personally. Well, the history with our all-girls team, we had quite a few girls running with us going back 5 or 6 years now, I guess. They kind of want to put their own thing on the track again this year, so we tend to find it's a good bonding exercise over anything else. This year they're standing on their own 2 feet, they've got their own cart and they're going to be out there. We have a fair involvement with other organisations outside of us. We help the Red Shield appeal out every year. We do a bit with the local speedway. We'd just like to give back. I think the majority of guys are quite happy to help out with doing all that sort of thing. I mean, we sort of make it part of what we do. It's part of the ethos of the Albany Volunteer Fire Brigade. At the end of the day, ultimately, it's a very rewarding thing. The thing I enjoy most about being a volunteer firefighter is probably the camaraderie and the job satisfaction. At the end of the day, you get that good feeling knowing that you've helped out someone and improved someone's situation as best you could.
Hi, I'm Deirdre Marchese from Cambalda Volunteer Fire and Rescue Service. I've been involved as a member officially for 8 years now, but I signed up over 20 years ago when my husband joined. It gets you that you want to be a part of such a great association, such a great brigade, and through my whole family, talking about my children, they became involved as juniors. My role with the juniors is I coordinate the teams, I assist the coach. When I first started, it was just really a support role, and then when I was officially initiated into the brigade, I was voted in as secretary, so I've held that position now for 8 years. I did take on some operational duties, and I've actually found that quite rewarding, enjoyable, challenging. This has probably been my busiest year so far with call-outs. I went down to Boddington to assist down there, which was an experience to behold. The volunteering gives me just satisfaction. I get a lot out of it. I'm very passionate about it. It's that community-based ideas that I like. That plays a big part in my role, not just as secretary, but as an assistant to the kids, to our juniors. Peer support, I guess it's something I'm passionate about. We do come across some horrific events up here. So being that peer support officer, I think it's just that link to help others get through troublesome times. When you put your fire brigade uniform on, you get a sense of pride. You just feel that you can stand out and know that people can come to you and you're just there for them. And to put that uniform on, it's something special.
Hi, I'm Eric.
Hi, I'm Tracy.
And we're officers from Derby VFRs.
I've been a volunteer with the Derby Fire Rescue for approximately 5.5 years now.
I joined Derby Fire Rescue 5.5 years ago.
When we moved into this new unit, we would have been here for possibly a month before our captain stepped down, and he actually nominated me to take the position of captain. Our profile was definitely struggling. It was very difficult to get locals on board. For 2-3 years, we ran with a crew of 5, on call 24/7. It took a long time to bring the image of the unit back into good stead in the community. And that is one of our most proudest achievements. The fact that now that Derby VFRs are looked upon as volunteers who are there for the community.
Over the last 12 months, we've attended approximately 7 road crash rescues. We've had 1 emergency landing and 110 scrub fires, and we've had a couple of structure fires in there as well. We joke that our paid jobs are, this is our full-time job, and that our paid jobs come secondary. So it does feel like that some days.
What do we get out of volunteering? Personally, Tracy and I get out of volunteering the fact that our community is safe. Our neighbours are safe. That's why we do it. We don't do it for money because we're not paid. We don't do it for love because obviously half the people we rescue we'll never see again. Are we proud to be firefighter volunteers?
Yes.
Nothing better. Yeah, absolutely. If I had it to do all over again, I'd do it all over again and twice on Sundays.
I'm delighted to say that the winner of the 2015 WA Volunteer Fire and Rescue Service Award is Deirdre Marchese.
This is such an honour to be standing here today. I wouldn't be here also, as everyone in this room knows, if you don't have the support from your family, you certainly wouldn't be standing here and protecting your community. And then that extends to your team that you go out with each and every time and come back home to your family safely. So thank you to my team over there, and my family's here too, so thank you for them. But, you know, congratulations to everybody in this room, and I'm so honoured to be standing here today and representing all volunteers.
And ladies and gentlemen, the next award has been named after an extraordinary man who has dedicated more than 50 years of his life to the Bushfire Service. He is here with us again today to celebrate this year's finalists in the Murray Lang Bushfire Service of WA Award. The finalists for this award this year are...
Hi, I'm Sean Corbin from the East Kidgegana Volunteer Bushfire Brigade. I've been involved in firefighting since I was about 14, which is probably about 27 years roughly, 28 years. Yeah, basically started as a ground level firey, worked through all the light tankers prior to having a licence, all that, as a sort of as a cadet, and then worked through, was a lieutenant for a while, progressed through there onto captain. I've been captain, I think this is my 15th year as captain of the brigade, and in the last few years I've also been put in as a deputy chief for the city of Swan. Yeah, I just enjoy volunteering. It's skills and knowledge I've gained from doing it for so long, just sharing that with the other volunteers and the respect that you get from the community and helping the community, seeing what you can do, saving other people's properties, big sort of family picture, helping out. People seem to work with me and understand and respect my skills and knowledge from the years I've done it. The majority of the calls I attend myself, and it's sort of about making sure the volunteers, if they have an issue, they've got someone they can talk to. I say try and be open, available 24/7 whenever I'm in the country or the state, wherever I am, or even interstate sometimes with some of the things I do and trips I do. I always have the phone on, people can always ring me. I'm happy to share whatever I can. Obviously any of the burns and stuff we do, funds we raise, we try and put it back into the volunteers, like whatever we've got, we don't need a lot of money, but put it back into your members and get them fully involved and give them what they need to do the job. Yeah, I'm sort of an ideas person and sort of look at improving things to make it better, or so the volunteers can do the job and get it safely and get home to their families sooner rather than later, sort of thing. I'm very proud of the work the brigade does. We've got an awesome reputation throughout the city, awesome level standard of training and people, and yeah, everyone, like I've said before, everyone sort of kicks in and helps out. Yeah, the nomination was a bit of a surprise. I just don't really, I don't know, put a lot of time and effort into the brigade over the years, but as for a nomination, I just think not much different to any other of my members. You know, they all put in the time when I ask them, or if I've got a page that goes off, I just look at it as a team thing, and I probably would have preferred the nomination to be for the brigade than just me.
Hi, my name's Terry Cowell. I'm with the Bunbury Volunteer Bushfire Brigade. I joined the brigade back in '95, so I've been in it just over 20 years. I started out just as a trainee. I firstly got involved with the fundraising committee at the time, and then progressed into being a secretary for a while. And then also I took on the role of First Lieutenant for a few years before stepping up to Captain in 2013. There's probably not one day in the week that I don't spend at least an hour or 2 hours of each day doing some form of fire brigade work. The fire season that's just gone, our brigade did spend quite a lot of hours. We calculated it out with individual hours, it added up to about 40 weeks, and we travelled almost 5,000 kilometres. There's lots of rewarding things about being a volunteer firefighter. Just getting out there in the community and doing things for your community, helping keep them safe, educating the community, but also being part of this brigade in particular. They are like my extended family. The camaraderie in this brigade is second to none. It's great seeing the young people come through. It's great seeing any new people come through. I love getting involved in training the new people up and taking them along to their first fires and just sharing those experiences with them. Highlights, any of the large incidences you go to, just going in and getting the job done and coming away with your crew, yeah, it's a good feeling. Also, fundraising wise, one of the highlights would be getting our brigade together to do some fundraising for various different bushfires appeals over the years, including New South Wales bushfires appeal in 2002, the Tenterden bushfires, Rolling Stone, Lake Clifton, Victorian bushfires appeal in 2009. We've raised over $45,000 in total. I think whether you're a volunteer firefighter here or over in the eastern states, we're all brothers and sisters, and we all love to help each other out whenever we can.
How you going? Michael Cave here from the Narpin Volunteer Bushfire Brigade. I've probably been involved with this brigade for about 6 years. I became part of this brigade purely for the fact there was a fire on our family property one Sunday morning, and I saw the response of the brigade and all the other volunteers in the district, and I thought they'd come to help me, so I'll jump into the brigade and help out, because one day I'll give them a hand as well. Yeah, look, basically came in and became a member and started going along the fires and helping the boys out. And gradually went to a FCO and then was nominated for captain and accepted the job, and I'm on my second year of captain now, so going along well. We're all volunteers, we all donate our time to do it, and there is times when you got to drop what you're doing and what your works just gets pushed aside to go and help other people. At the end of the day, we all live in the same community, and if something goes wrong, we all need to help out. We go out there on those horrible hot days when it's windy, and we go out there and fight the fires and do what we can do. And that's you've got to have volunteers, otherwise it just would not work. I suppose being the captain, you're sort of the focus of the brigade, I suppose. But I look at it as my team here. We're all captains basically until something goes wrong and they want to point the finger. When we leave in the truck, we're all captains, and as long as we all leave together and come home together, that's all I really care about. When you get to a fire and you see the incident and you're able to put it out, just sort of puts that sense of feeling safe again back into the community. You know, they see it happening and we get there and we do what we're trained to do, and well, it gives yourself a good feeling as well when you get there and you're able to do it. Being nominated for this award is probably the biggest highlight that I can sort of think of. It's very humbling and very overwhelming as well to think that such a little small brigade down here in the south can sort of make the cut for it. But yeah, I'd say being nominated for this award is probably the highlight of my career, if you would like to say.
Well, the winner of this esteemed award, ladies and gentlemen, is Terry Cowell from Bunbury Volunteer Bushfire Brigade.
I guess I have two families to thank. Firstly, my husband and my three boys, because without their love and support, I wouldn't be able to do what I do, and it's the same for everybody in this room. My second family is the brigade, and everything we do is a team effort, and it's, you know, you can't achieve anything if you haven't got the backing of your brigade. Everything we do it together, and it's always a team reward and team effort. So, and it's great to see so many people in this room who I've met at different fires, and there's lots of different worthy recipients in this room, and I'd also like to acknowledge the other finalists. Thank you.
We move on to the last, but by no means any less important part of this morning's proceedings. With this category, we'll recognise our volunteer emergency service units and volunteer fire services brigades, now collectively known as the Volunteer Fire and Emergency Services. To recognise the vital role that these outstanding volunteers play, we would now like to present the Western Australian Fire and Emergency Services Award.
Hi, how you doing? I'm Fraser.
Hello, I'm Sandra.
And we're from the Coral Bay VES. As a unit, we're a do everything unit. So most of the members have dual roles. The volunteers that we have in our unit, and it's everywhere, drop what they're doing and do the job.
So a couple of days before the cyclone, we were obviously pre-warned that there was a cyclone heading towards Exmouth. So we started cleaning up, tidying up and asking people to leave.
When we realised how severe the cyclone was, we sort of re-evacuated people into a more solid structure within town. So that was the initial prelude role. And then obviously come Cyclone actually being implemented, it was to reassure people and make sure that we were comfortable with where people were and there weren't movements within and around the place.
During the cyclone, the noise was absolutely horrific. The howling of the sheds and the trees, and it was just, yeah, it was very scary. So it passed, and I remember it was about 11 o'clock, and I remember Fraser, the first place we could see looking at here was Fraser's house.
When I first looked out through the door and saw that my roof had peeled off my caravan and was on top of my car, and the first thing that struck us were the number of trees that were completely obliterated and the debris around town.
Over the years, over the last 5 or 6 years, Fraser and I have been involved with smaller cyclones, and we've developed and built on our expertise and gone around the town and the community, and we've got them backing us up 100%. We would say jump and they would. And they listen. And people have said to us, gee, it went really well, you did really good. And it makes you feel good, doesn't it, that we did it. The feedback that we had was phenomenal, and even people started putting things on Facebook. And, and it's not, and it's not just the community that read it; it's everywhere, didn't they?
I'm still getting cheap meals at the local restaurant.
Yeah, and people they always just say, if it wasn't for you two, but we just do it. And let's face it, we aren't volunteers. What else are we going to do in Coral Bay?
I don't know. Enjoy the place for a while.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to say the West Australian Fire and Emergency Service Award goes to Fraser McGregor and Sandra Limbury from Coral Bay. Would you please join us?
As has been mentioned by pretty much everybody, you're only as good as the people behind you, so our unit, their commitment to doing things when we say and ask, and the community really basically stepped up to the plate when we needed them in this particular event, but they always do. One thing that I remember post-Cyclone Olwen was, one, the support we got from all of you guys, not everyone here, but there was a select group that came up and helped us out, and it was nice to know that everybody's got our back, and I guess that's the same for everybody. But another thing was that a few of the volunteers mentioned that the community actually, instead of just standing by and watching, in our little community, they actually put their gloves on and started helping, whether they were volunteers or not. So that was a great thing. So the award really is for everybody, and we accept it graciously. Sandra?
Yeah, thank you everybody, and I'd just like to congratulate everybody else that's received an award today. Last night I made a statement and I said jokingly that behind every good man there's a good woman, and I believe that behind every VFES unit that there's a good woman as well. And but I'd also like to say in our particular case that I believe that in our case with the cyclone, that the support that we had from our DFIS area manager, as in Scott White, and there's not too many people around that get up here and say thank you to DFIS. And in this case, I'd like to say a big thank you. And please join me in thanking Scott for all the support that we received from you.
Today is a day where we say, well done to you. Well done to you. We acknowledge the fact that the good, hard, thankless in many ways work that you do is well thought of, well considered and admired. Please consider these awards an encouragement, I guess, of your continuous efforts and the recognition of your hard work. You are all excellent role models. You are excellent role models and should be very proud of your achievements.